Good morning from the Yarn Closet in Tucson, Arizona.
Everybody. I made this Play-Doh oven with my mom. She's the best.
Thank you.
And she has a coffee cup that looks like a zebra.
Yes, I do.
And this is her yarn organizer.
Yes.
She has everything she needs.
And this is our 100th podcast. We will be at our 2-year anniversary, the beginning of July. We are in Tucson, Arizona. I am Laura. Yarn Closet AZ on Instagram. And look.
These are cardboard flowers that we made. We made the first one, and it's a rose. Do you want to see it? I'll show you.
That came on one of our Amazon boxes. So pay attention to your Amazon boxes. She's going to get the flower to show you.
You talk to them.
Oh, now I get to talk? Okay. MawgeeKitty on Ravelry. My mom is doing fine. My stepdad is doing fine. My real dad is doing fine. They all live at the same 55-plus apartment complex.
I found it. Here's the cardboard flower that we made. I colored it, and she cut it, and I colored it. It's a rose.
Yes.
So beautiful. If it was like this, it'd be more easier to see.
Yes. And you're a very good drawer of the roses, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And making the Play-Doh roses.
This is the first flower that we made ever.
Why don't you go make a Play-Doh rose and then bring it and show them?
Okay.
Okay. So it's our 100th podcast. And we are going to give away a $40 electronic gift card to Artistic Lily. ArtisticLily.com. Ooh. She's in St. Louis, Missouri. Let me adjust my brightness again. And what do we got? I love some of her colorways. I have been really and her daughter draws all the pins that she then makes up. And she's got silky singles, and she's got the mohair. And here, I'm going to look this up and show you. This is one of the things I really like. Okay. She's got these really cool sock sets. As you'll notice, that one up in the top corner and the bottom corner has 2 minis. I love a sock set with 2 minis. Because I'm a shorty sock person, so then I definitely get the extra pairs out.
Here.
And as you see, they're $34 to $40. So
a Play-Doh rose.
That is so perfect. And it's big and lovely.
And violet purpley.
Yes, it is. Or blue, some people would say. Okay, now Mom needs to talk about her knitting for a while, and then I'll have you come back before the end, because you know our special indie bits.
Mm-hmm.
You know that special thing to say at the end, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So...
Look with your heart first.
Look with your heart first. That's it. It was on the floor. Look under your pillow. So I'm just going to announce our winner right now. Nicole Simons Knits. She is a sock patternist on Ravelry. You need to be quiet because Dad's still sleeping. It's on the couch. Look in front of you. And her friend that she tagged was Borkulan. So how cool is that? Nicole, please get a hold of me, TheYarnCloset at yahoo.com, and get me your information, and I will send you the electronic information on the $40 gift card to Artistic Lily in St. Louis, Missouri. I hope that was a fun thing to do. I don't have anybody that can go to the mailbox right now. That's why it's all electronic stuff. Oh yeah, I should really get that too. All right, so here's the deal, people. I was going to plan this out really good, and I was going to, do all the stuff. You know what? I've got kids going crazy. My kids are used to being home and not active with other people. The part they're not used to is Dad being home quite as much. He tends to go out every month for a good few days, if not a couple times a month during the hunting months, which are August through March. Here, there's different things to be hunting that whole time. And it's just a different dynamic. Also, I think my husband's going the most stir crazy because he's not used to being around the kid stuff all the time, and because he is the one that wants to get out more and is able to because he still drives. So there we go. That's our little quarantine update, because this is during the COVID self-isolation, social distancing business. You may notice that I'm wearing a sweater that I made recently, if you follow me on Instagram. And it was made with Mrs. Crosby Loves to Play. Squid ink is the colorway. It is 75% superwash merino, 15 silk, 10 cashmere, 317 yards. So, like a sport weight. And I think that I'm a somewhat loose knitter when I'm using a more slippery yarn. Okay, this has been blocked. You will see that it is kind of fuzzy. I think that's the cashmere silk in it, or the merino, the superwash merino. Oh, that's a wonker of something in there. Oh, maybe I already tried to fix that, and now my woven in end is coming out. Yep, that's what it is, because I can feel it. I'll have to weave that back. So I just did a top-down raglan with garter stitch here and here, button band and collar, and at the bottom, a little bit more at the bottom. And I did this quite a bit longer and loose. You know, I'm in Tucson. I don't want to have a really tight, see that? I don't want to have a really tight fabric unless it's middle of winter and I'm driving around on my little pink mobility cart scooter, electric scooter, in the early morning. But I love this tonal color play. I made the long sleeves, and turns out I really love the long sleeves. That's a woven in end, I can feel, or something. I really love the long sleeves, and I made them like bracelet length. I tried to do a little garter stitch, because I did the first sleeve ending here, and I didn't like it. Made it long, did garter cuffs, I did not like them. So then I did a garter ridge, and then went into the ribbing. I don't like the garter ridge. I may eventually take this out and reknit this, because this cuff is good. This cuff's a little tight in my bind off. I also did the decreases, you know. I had like 20 stitch markers hanging off. Ooh, there's another end that popped in the front. 20 stitch markers doing my sleeve decreases. I think it worked okay. It's the first time I ever did sleeve decreases, you know, and I matched both sides. Here's the other thing. Would you just shut up? Prue, will you let them out, please? Okay, you're playing Play-Doh. Well, this is a podcast like all other podcasts. Oh, that's a needle I got stuck in walking. Oh, people. Okay, we have to do that because we have bunnies living in our backyard, like wild ones. and we don't want the dogs to get them. And then to make sure that they all actually go out there, I'm going to throw some kibble. Go on outside. Sadie, go on outside. Go on. Did Chip go outside?
No,
Okay.
because he wasn't barking.
Okay. I'll give him a couple of kibbles. Oh, there you are, Mr. Chips. There you are, Mr. Chips. See how bow-legged he is? Isn't that adorable? Chip will be 9 in July. He was my 40th birthday present to myself. Yes, my birthday comes just shortly after Chip's, and I will be 49. So, what's the other thing? The other thing is, one of these sides I picked up too many stitches on. And so what happens when you pick up too many stitches is that one side is longer than the other, and it will kind of curve out. So I think it's this side. So I may eventually redo some cuff stuff, and I may eventually redo these button bands. And if I do redo them, I may make them thicker. Or just go all the way over here and go around and make it a bit more of a shawl collar. I can't decide. But other than my Stillwater cardigan that Amy Florence knit that I purchased in her D-stash, I mean, that one I've worn a lot. I've worn a couple of my other ones once or twice, sweaters that I've made. But this feels like something I can wear when the air conditioning kicks in and it gets chilly. It's got a nice drape, it's long enough. Excuse me. We're having more pollen breakouts here. I also purchased some of these. I love these. They remind me of the Swedish, Norwegian, Danish sweaters of my youth. I'm Danish and Italian. And so I'm thinking about, because I put a black button on it and I didn't like that to begin with. So I'm thinking about doing that. And then I also got some of these in a gold and green that I'm going to put on that Stillwater, because that does need a closure. I've always used just like a shawl pin kind of thing, and that has come out too often, so I think it needs something real. But I might put some of these on. And I have loved my last couple of knit sweaters. That green t-shirt one that I did with Amy Florence's yarn, Stranded Dye Works, and this one. See that? See, you can kind of see through it. I mean, I don't need heavy, heavy dents. And so in that vein, I've also purchased some lovely worsted bamboo cotton. Now, there's no way in heck this is worsted, because it's 50 grams and 230 yards. So that's actually fingering weight, which is what I knew I was getting, okay? It's just that...
You chip-licking slobber.
It's just that, you know, different places call things different things.
Chippy.
I like working with stuff that's more tonal.
Chippy
This is obviously
pillow.
not.
That was disgusting.
But I'm hoping that it has enough sheen, that I'll stay interested, that I'll be able to use some of my fun... You need to be quiet, I'm podcasting.
We were podcasting together.
Yep, and now it's just Mom because I'm talking about the yarn, okay? If you want to sit here, you can sit in this chair. So I have...
Chair.
You can't.
I want to.
I have these lovely wooden needles. They're square. I've tried a number
They
of
can't
square
even
needles.
see me.
And these are the ones that I like the best. Because the square is square. I mean, you can tell it's square. You hold it more lightly. I just like it. Because I get a lot of pain in this shoulder from some back and neck
Did
injuries.
you show everybody that yarn?
I did, thank you.
This is very soft yarn, and it's very straight and soft.
Yes, it's very smooth.
And straight and soft
Yes.
and snuggly.
Yeah,
And there's a monkey.
there is a monkey on it.
A monkey here and a monkey here. This
So,
monkey and that monkey. And this is just a yarn thing that goes,
yarn label.
it's a yarn label.
Yeah.
Did you show
I did. Will you
No.
please stop?
these?
Yes, stop, please. This is Mom's podcast, okay?
This is mine and yours.
I said you could be in it, but it's still just mine.
It's still yours and mine.
Okay, so for Mother's
is
Day, my
Trevor's.
husband did some reconnaissance and a lot of...
I gave it to you.
I'm getting there, but Daddy was the one who picked it out. She just turned 5, going on 15. C-knit.
She's talking about me.
Yes, I was. I really like the case. It's just a square fold.
And this is a unicorn on a paper.
Yes, it is a unicorn on paper.
And this is a little,
And there is a
this is a
Velcro.
little purple bit.
There.
And this is like an
Okay,
elephant.
you want consequences?
No.
This is my time to talk about knitting things.
And you see the thing.
We
here.
love it. Now go.
I don't go.
Okay, so it's a very extensive set
Everybody.
from 2.75 up to 9 millimeter. I'm not being rude to you. I'm being a mother. Okay. These don't have a pin. You just screw them. I have used them. They do stay tight, but here's the other thing. They swivel. There's a full swivel here. So I like that. I like the swivel quite a bit. What I don't like is, do you see this? Do you see how it's...
What about this book?
Stop now. I'm getting there. Can I finish talking about this? Okay. Do you see what I mean about constant interruption in everything I do, even the bathroom? So I'm as much as, you know, he really tried, and this is an expensive set, and I love the swivel. That differing size business kind of annoys me. Plus the fact is that I need 3 different size adapters for all the different ranges in the set. So that means that there's very few cords, because in the biggest sizes there's only 2 cords, and then in the middle sizes there's 2 cords, and the bottom sizes there's 2 cords. And it didn't come with cord stoppers, which I tend to use a lot and like. But other than that, I do like it. It's very good quality. And depending on the yarn, to have that swivel function is really something I think I'm going to use and like having. My Sprouts grocery shopper just started shopping for me. It's a girl, and what I have found is that the girls are not as good as the boys, because the boys want to get it right, so they always ask. Anyway, so I am taking a bit of a break.
She paid all the cat food.
No, the cat ate a bunch of it first. Chip was just licking the plate. I watched the cat eat it.
I watched him eating it.
Okay, he may have had a small chunk left over. So this is also May, which is Crochet in May. So I got this lovely crochet book.
And And Chip also licked on my pillow.
Oh my gosh.
He's disgusting.
And I can honestly say I wasn't as thrilled with it as I thought I was going to be, but I got it on Amazon. So it was like from 50% off books or something. It was like $5.
I showed them the outside.
Okay, will you sit down and be quiet for a minute? Because I'm going to do some crochet in May. Seeing how that does with my shoulder. So I've started this crochet fingering weight shawl. I like it. It's going to take a while, but that's okay. I like having a couple crochet projects all of a sudden. And yes, I'm doing my quiet voice, which I often do as momming, versus I do either quiet voice or I yell. That's who I am as a mom, and
Mom,
we're just all going to get behind it.
Chip, like, gone off
No, I
the
can't, honey. It will dry in time.
And can you
So I'm
dry-
doing a spiral circle blanket.
Can you dry it, Mom?
I cannot. This is Stranded Dye Works Tabby. I started it as a shawl. I didn't like it. I started it as a knit sweater. I didn't like it. But in the crochet, the double crochet, I really like it. So it's Sport DK. No, it's Sport. It's Sport or DK. I don't know. But I think I have 3 skeins, so I think it will end up being a reasonable size throw. I was really hoping this would be a nice, long, functional video, you know, being really excited about you guys and the interactions that we have. It's just not going to be, because I'm just annoyed at all the interruptions. Like I said, what I have learned from quarantine is that it's just as important as a mom for me to send me to my room as it is to send them to their rooms. So, did a little mending on this, and I was shocked at how well it actually worked. And then,
I took this off because I was letting this to dry.
great, go let Sadie in. Then I got a hole in this one because I've determined that where I'm getting the hole is on my bunion on my left foot. So I took this little swatch that I had. This is my new thing for swatches. And I just sewed it over that base. So I'm going to use my swatches to mend my slipper socks. And I have cranked another set of 50-gram sock tubes that I can make into the slipper socks, because you have to fold it in half, seam it here, gather it at the toe, and seam it on the top. And that's how you get a sock tube slipper sock. It's double thick. And like I said, it only wears on my stinking bunion toe. Which, by the way, has been on and off more bothersome recently, but also I think it's the weather, because my arthritis, that's arthritis, and I really have to make an effort to get it to close. One day I woke up and I literally could not close these fingers. And my mom has hands like that. So that's really exciting and something to look forward to. I'm trying during quarantine to embrace the turning 49 and, you know, wonderful time in my life. But people, I'm on year 13 of being housebound. So y'all who have been wussies and freaking out after 8 weeks need to grow a pair. So this has really made me happy. Something that I'm able to throw on and wear in the air conditioning, and I get cold at night So actually sometimes I will put a sweater on to sleep in or a cardigan or something. Prue, do you want to say goodbye?
Oh, yeah. I'll say, look with your heart first and bye.
Do you think you just woke Dad up by screaming your head
I'll
off?
say, look with your heart first and say bye.
Do you think you just woke Dad up?
Look with your heart first. Bye.
Bye. Now go let Sadie in now.